Introduction to Microsoft SQL Server 2000. Now, what does SQL mean? Well, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's an ANSI, or American National Standard Institute, standard computer language for accessing and manipulating databases. SQL statements are used for updating, deleting, and requesting information from databases. SQL supports database programs like SQL Server, MS Access, DB2, Informix, Oracle, Sybase, and etc. In this training program, we're using Microsoft SQL Server to support ASP.NET to perform data access. Microsoft SQL Server 2000 is a full-featured relational database management system. It offers a variety of administrative tools to ease the burdens of database development, maintenance, and administration. In the upcoming lessons, we'll talk about how to use SQL Server and how to create database and tables in Microsoft SQL Server. How to create database in SQL Server. We can create SQL Server database in 3 different ways. And those are using Enterprise Manager, using the Database Wizard, and using the Query Analyzer. In this lesson, we're going to discuss how to create database using the methods mentioned above. Let's get started. We'll start off with the Enterprise Manager. It's very easy to create database using the Enterprise Manager. To create database, go to Start and All Programs. Select Microsoft SQL Server, and then select Enterprise Manager. Expand the Microsoft SQL Server nodes, followed by the Server subgroup. Select Local Server, and expand the Database nodes. Right-click on Database and New Database. A window called Database Properties will be opened. Now it contains 3 tabs, namely General, Data Files, and Transaction Log. Just give the database name as Products in the text box. Now we can set the location of the database files and growth settings by clicking on the Data Files. By default, our new database will be created at this location. We can change this to any location when needed. Using Transaction Log File tab is used to set location and file name for the transaction. And by default, it will be created at the location. Now, click OK to continue. We can see the new database in the name Products. When you double-click the database, it will show you all the available items in the Products database. Now, so far in this lesson, we have analyzed how to create a new database by using Enterprise Manager. Up next, we'll discuss how to create a database using Database Wizard. Creating database using Database Wizard. In this lesson, we'll discuss creating a database by using Database Wizard. To create a database by using Database Wizard, go to Start and click All Programs. Select Microsoft SQL Server, then select Enterprise Manager. Click Tools in the Enterprise Manager, and then click Wizards. Click Database to expand the database node. Click on Create Database Wizard and then press OK. In the first page of the wizard, read the text and click Next. Now, in the Database Name text box, we can specify the name of our database. Enter the database name as Vensan. After entering the name, click Next. Accept the default setting by clicking the Next button on each page. If the information is not accurate, we can click the Back button and make the necessary changes. Now then, click Finish. It will show a message that the database is successfully created. Click on OK here. This will display a message questioning whether you would like to create a maintenance plan or not. And here, we'll just click No. We can now see our database. Double-click the database to see the available items. Right then, I hope you've got a better idea on how to create a database using the Database Wizard. Creating database using Query Analyzer. In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to create a database with the help of Query Analyzer. Creating a database using Query Analyzer is quite simple. Let's discuss it with a simple example. Go to Start and All Programs. Click Microsoft SQL Server 2000, then click Query Analyzer. Now we are in SQL Query Analyzer window. Give the username and password and click OK. Now we are in Query Analyzer Editor window. The query for creating a database is as such. Here, create database is a command which is used to create a new database, and the name of our database is Sanven. Click Pass Query button to check the status of the command. If the command is correct, it will show output as command completed successfully. To execute the statement, press the F5 or use the Execute button on the toolbar. Now the message window shows memory allocation with location of our new Sanven database. Here we have created a new database called Sanven. Once you've created a database, it will be shown in the drop-down list. If you want to change the database, click on the drop-down list. It shows many databases. Then you can select your desired one. Hereafter, all the activities like creating tables, views, and triggers, etc. will be stored in this database itself. In our next lesson, we're going to see how to drop the database, which was created by the user. Creating table with primary key constraints. In this lesson, we're going to discuss how to create a table. Now, you know how to open and use Query Analyzer. And now, we're going to see how to create a table using Query Analyzer. Here is the syntax for creating a table. Have a look at this example also for creating a table. Press F5 to run the query. Now, the table is created successfully. If you wish to create a table with the primary key, use this query. The primary key of a relational table uniquely identifies each record in the table. Here, we create a table called Demo Table. The primary key is created for MPID column. So we can't insert any duplicate MPID as well as null to MPID column. For creating this table, press the ubiquitous F5 key. And as you see, our table is now created. To insert a value in the table, use this query. Press F5, and here the row is inserted in our table. And then again, press F5. Now you may see the error message, cannot insert duplicate value, because MPID1 was inserted already in the table. It won't allow duplicate value. In our next lesson, we'll discuss the basic queries used in Microsoft SQL Server 2000.